Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Tonopah 2 meter. They just go 2 meters and then the race is over. So whoever does that fastest is the best. I am the very attractive, and with me as always is the man who recently acquired himself some prosthetic earlobes, Michael Magas.
Oh, earlobes. I like my ears. Why would I get prosthetic earlobes?
I don't know. I've known that you've always wanted earlobes the size of Montana, so.
Oh, it's for my Ferengi cosplay.
Correct.
We are here in the deserts of California at the Sonoma RaceWay, a track that is sort of near and dear to my heart because actually it's the first place that I actually had a competitive win in my sim racing career, but at the same time, I also hate the track. So it's an interesting love-hate relationship.
It's like the T32 of tracks for you.
I mean, yeah, I suppose that would be a way of pointing it. Although I never understood your hatred for the T32 and its
doesn't fucking work.
In its depth.
Oh, look at all the armor! It's got all this armor, non-stop being penetrated like I was a porn star on drugs.
That's because its armor is all on the face of the turret, sir. You got to keep that hole hidden.
And yet, every single round goes right through the friggin' gun mantlet. Welcome to the video game podcast about rage and displeasure.
Rage. Well, I mean, I feel all you have to say is that it's a video game podcast to get to the rage. I mean, that's
probably accurate.
It's kind of accurate. Anyways, qualifying coming to an end here. Henrik Andreasen will be the pole sitter, followed by Bertrand Barrier, Max Simmons, Andrew D, James Butler, and Rene Irmer. Just 6 GT2s in the field today. Pedro Magalhaes, Tobias TH, David Marcadet, Arno Adrakor, Martin Edmunds, Magic Kazchek, John Barker, Steve Davidson, Vic Vega, and a returning Sebastian Bellew, who we have not seen in a bit, is your GT4 category. Good to see Mr. Bellew back on the grid.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yours truly, as in myself, was at this point getting my hip relocated by a 250-pound individual who was none too gentle about it.
Wasn't me.
Wasn't you, no. But it was a big dude. Apparently he specializes in the tactic because there's a lot of force involved.
It makes sense to me.
So that was why I was absent from the field for this one, which is a shame because it looks like it was a very small field and it would have been a chance for me to get some pretty big points.
Especially if you run everybody off into the cactus.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, why is it you do not enjoy the Tonopah 200?
I just don't really like the track too much.
You're not a fan of sand? It's coarse and it gets in everything?
It's not the sand that's necessarily the problem. Although, admittedly, I can't... There are not many desert tracks that I particularly enjoy. The only one would be the Shakir circuit in Bahrain. Would be the lone exception to that. Actually, no, I like Losail International Circuit in Qatar. Even though my views on Qatar as a country, not amazing.
These are true statements.
And they will be getting the World Cup because reasons.
Because money and slavery.
Mm-hmm. Well, mostly the money. It's just the slavery is a byproduct of said money. But that's enough. That's enough World Cup discussion. We got to warm up here, so we got about 3 minutes to kill. Byron, how do you feel about Cody Rhodes going back to WWE?
I feel that it's probably an enormous payday because it'd have to be. And it's probably a comfort level thing, and it's the wrong idea. But I mean, hey, you're getting paid. He's got to be getting paid so much. Oh my God,
that money. Yeah, I mean, he's giving up an executive VP salary there, and yeah, it's gotta imagine it's some exceptionally large amounts of money. As in F1 news, Michael Andretti and Mario Andretti are talking about opening up a Formula One team again. A lot of people have pointed out that the Formula One's not really looking for a team, but you'd have to think that Andretti would be a good fit. It's got that name value. It's got the infrastructure to support it. And I think it's only a matter of time.
Until the end of the world as we know it.
Indeed. I enjoyed the fact that I binge watched The Boys over like the last season 1 of The Boys after
fucking
in
diabolical
the last 3 days, and it was diabolical. And I'm like, I like that in the first episode I already have my Letterkenny and Expanse crossover casting taken care of, and then she died.
Correct.
But I did very much enjoy the first season, and I'm looking forward to season 2, which I'm going to watch with Byron and Javier.
Actually, Javier and I already watched it. We were bored waiting for you.
Oh, well then I got to bench watch season 2.
What are you kidding? We're not horrible betrayers like yourself.
I've never watched something that I said I was going to watch.
Horrible, untrustworthy Dominican.
Never did. I never did. These are lies, and they're spurious and slanderous to my reputation.
You'll never prove them in The Hague.
Oh, please. I have other problems in The Hague. And this week we got Spa-Francorchamps coming up on the 3D speed calendar, which will be interesting. And we're getting closer to the opening up of the Sunday series, which will be kicking off in March. So get ready for that. I'm hoping to have the race app for that up like this week, but it's not in my hands. It's in the poster department's hands as to when that will happen.
Well, I, for one, never close the race app, so it's always up.
Well, that's a good plan.
It helps me race. I race very quickly.
Very.
As provable by all kinds of previous video evidence.
Indeed, all the video evidence are all
correct. Is the race over now? Like, what's going on here?
We're still doing the warm-up.
Oh my god, it's pretty warm out. It's a desert. Come on, guys.
I believe this is a 1-hour race. I could be mistaken. Find out.
Based on timestamp, I would say you're correct. Unless the warm-up's going to be another 45 minutes.
No. Warm-up is over now. And we're off to the race. So we will have one mandatory pit stop for 2 tires here today. I'm not sure if anyone's going to need to take on fuel, because usually the 60-minute races you can do on a single tank of gas. So, a less interesting pit stop conversation. One would think it will effectively probably just be around the halfway point and do half the race on first set of tires and half the race on fresh rubber. And or you can go really early on and try and balance the wear by swapping off the faster wearing tires and trying to find that sweet spot, which I think it was Steve Davidson was talking to me the other months ago about that being a good idea. I'm not entirely certain I agree, but it is an option. All right, here we go. We have 18 cars on the grid, so it looks like a couple of people didn't get qualifying times in. Looks like Luciano Chazo and Ricardo Costa were the ones. Oh, that's not good. Bertrand Barrier creeping forward and gets the jump start penalty. Henrik Andreasen instantly into the wall, and things are heating up already here at Sonoma as we head up the hill. This is the most dangerous part of the track. It's kind of like a mini Eau Rouge in a way, as James Butler battles with Andrew D over third position. And at the front it is Barrier, but he has the drive-through, followed by Simmons, D, Butler, Ichazo, and Ermer. Andreasen's back with the GT4s now, and leading the GT4 count fight is Pedro Magas. Do you think Mr. Pedro Magalhaes will be able to walk away from Tobias TH there, Byron?
I'd say that's inefficient at this stage.
Tobias, of course, with the distinction of being a member of my baseball team. So, go Tobias.
To use all the walkie powers to use press the gas pedal.
Arnaud Dracor. I think didn't he start on GT4 pole and has fallen back to 4th place? That's a terrible start. Let's see his BMW there. Martin Edmunds in the Lotus on his tail, and then it's the BMW battlers who I swear they've been battling like every race this season. Magic Kashchuk and John Barker as Barrier gets overtaken for the lead by the anime Audi of Max Simmons. As he goes in to serve his drive-through penalty.
What a jerk.
I mean, I don't know if Bertrand can be considered a jerk. Seems... I really have no reading on him at all. He speaks French whenever he's in the voice chat.
I was going to say, he's French. He's probably a jerk.
Oh, that's hard.
Oh, I will put the baguette up your nose.
That's harsh. There's some very nice French people in the world.
That's not true.
On board with James Boutelier.
Also French.
As they head down the hill section through the, I don't really know what to call this, but I feel like it needs a name. It's very much like a roller coaster ride, which is pretty neat. So we're, of course, coming off of an Indianapolis round. 3 of the final 4 races are in America. Interesting note there, because we got Daytona for the season finale. Max Simmons was the winner in Indianapolis. He defeated... let me just get the classes up here. It was Max Simmons who took the win from Rene Ermer, who took a surprising podium ahead of Luciano Echazo. And in the GT4 category, the winner was... Arnaud Adracor, who defeated Pedro Magalhaes, and Martin Edmunds, who took his first podium of the season. So, go Martin. Here's David Marcadet running in 3rd place. Tobias TH in the red Porsche up ahead of him. He is actually. He is the only Porsche in the GT4 field today.
The old man on the back Porsche.
Maybe. This track does have some of the most interesting tire physics you're ever going to see. So you see these little tire stands at the side of the track in red, or not red, yellow and blue tires. Those are incredibly solid. You run into those, and in real life, the tires would fly all over the place. In this game, no, it's like running into a freaking pole. Marcadet, who's in front of teammate Arnaud Adracor and behind Tobias TH. Battling for top European honors. I do apologize. I'm having some random yawning going on here, so...
Well, I mean...
That's what I'm doing if I haven't talked for a little bit. I mean, the cocaine would be good.
Cocaine!
I was going to get myself a cappuccino, but then I forgot.
You should remember to forget next time, and then you wouldn't forget to remember.
Who does that song? Remember to forget. Mudvayne?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's Mudvayne. Ricardo Costa having a little spin. Then it was, of course, Before I Forget by Slipknot, which would also be applicable. On board with, we've been having a lot of on board with James Butler. I wonder if he's got one of the sponsor cams for the onboard. In a lot of racing forums, they'll have like a camera named after some sponsor, and it'll be on a specific car. So I'm wondering if James Butler has the 3D Speed Creations cam on board or something.
Oh, he's probably playing Joust.
They're still on the trail of Andrew D. and Rene Ermer keeping up well, looking to make good on his podium at Indianapolis with another solid outing here in the good old US of A. We'll be heading to Twin Ring Motegi for our final non-American round of the season in 2 weeks' time. And then it'll be to the Daytona International Speedway for the final round.
The first final round or the second final round?
The final round.
Oh my god, it's the final round down.
Where we have till 5.
Pretty much.
As Luciano Ichazo with a little bit of an opportunistic attempt there against James Butler. Either that or he was going super defensive against Rene Ermer. Either way, we're in the same order still. Andreasen and Barrier working their way through the GT4 traffic still. Barrier overtaking Ajakor. Imagine Marcaday will also give way to him pretty quickly because, of course, those three are on the same professional sim racing team.
Oh, see, there's the problem. I've been on the unprofessional team.
There's been there are no teams at play. Oh, there are teams at play, but they haven't really been a big deal because it's a GT4 car to GT2 car everywhere. But they are, of course, more long-standing cooperators. Good battle for second place, although Max Simmons is kind of pulling away at the front now, up about 3 seconds on Andrew D. in the Gulf oil colors.
Gulf oil is best oil.
Oh no, James Butler.
Looks like you got Gulf oil, baby.
Got a little too much curb there, and I wonder if that car is still going to be going. We'll find out. While he's not going yet, still dropping. Looks like he's back on track now. On board with Rene Ermer. As Luciano Ichazo gets a little bit out of shape there in the last corner. Last proper corner, I should say. There is that full speed curve there before the start-finish line, which is technically the last corner, but really is not treated as such by the drivers.
What if we made everybody eat an entire quarter pounder meal in the drive-through whenever they went in for tires?
Be interesting. What did you have for dinner this evening, Byron, or have you not had your dinner yet?
It's only 5 o'clock. I have not had that which we refer to as dinner per se. I had breakfast burritos earlier, though.
Ah, that's tasty.
Indeed.
I had chicken shawarma on the rocks.
You had chicken shawarma with ice?
Chicken shawarma on the rocks is chicken shawarma on top of rice.
That's not what that is.
I know that's not what on the rocks means, but that is what it means in the shawarma world, as Rene Ermer gives a little bit of a tap to Luciano Ichazo there under braking. Nothing really coming of it. Steve Davidson on the tail of Magic Kazchuk and ahead of John Barker.
Oh, he cut the corner. That sent him back to the pits.
Arno Drakor apparently did abuse some track limits. Picks up a slowdown penalty. It's a long pit lane here. Not as long as the Spa double that we're going to be tackling on Wednesday, where, my lord, you do not want to get a track cut penalty or a drive-through penalty at Spa, because it takes a long freaking time. Oh boy. In video gaming news, Byron, did you know that the longest game of AoE 2 was played this week?
Was it like 15, 16 minutes?
It was 9 days.
That's a long time, especially for a whole weekend.
That's a long time. That's a long time.
How do you fit 9 days into a weekend?
They literally just left the game running and went to bed at points and let the game continue.
Yeah. That's a good move.
It got to the point where there were no resources on the map, and it was just both of them waiting for the other one to make a horrible mistake to capitalize on it. One of the players at some point apparently went on a date while the game was still going on.
Come back to the game, you're like, you know what? I've developed like 3 new hobbies in the whole time this game's been on, so we'll just turn this off now.
No, this was between 2 of the best AoE 2 players in the world, though. So they had to go into. I've been learning about the whole competitive scene because one of my friends participated in the Wanderers Cup World Championships for AoE 2. He actually made it to the 2nd round, so congratulations to him. That was JB from the Fight Zone.
He made it to the 2nd round, as in he won a single game?
He won a best of 3 series.
Very nice.
And then went on, which was good. Well, I mean, it was good because he was expected to go out in the 1st round. So, you know, this is one of those, did better than he thought he would, as James Butler is struggling and loses the spot there to Bertrand Barria. You can see the front end of Butler's car is smashed up from where he went into the wall. So his car not functioning properly, and he's really hoping for that pit window to open up soon so he can get in and get that car fixed. Because I imagine it's not fun to drive that right now, because the Porsche GT2, not the most fun thing to begin with, and forget with the fact that he has no splitter, no proper air control on the front of that car. It's probably very much a handful.
What I would recommend is going into the wall even harder next time to shake some of that dead weight loose, and then you'd just be easily more competitive.
At this point, yes, but I mean, at this point, he'd also probably go off the track a lot.
Just got to be going thousands of kilometers an hour.
You should ask the A-Train about that.
The wrestler?
No, the boy's character.
Oh, yes. That would be a problem.
He's diabolically fast, I'm told.
Some might say, but he may be on the juice.
It's on the V. Saw somebody spinning there, but I didn't see who it was. We'll see if anyone's falling back. Looks like we might have lost Ricardo Costa from the race, as he is shown 3 laps down.
Well, he did lose to Israel Adesanya.
That's Paulo Costa.
Oh, my bad.
Borussia.
My bad, indeed.
He was really drunk.
That's
his story. He's sticking with it.
That'd be a good story, except I'm pretty sure they test for that.
I don't think they do, actually.
They might want to start thinking about it.
No one's ever popped for alcohol on one of their post-fight tests.
So either they just don't test for it, or nobody's that dumb.
Yeah, and I mean, this is MMA we're talking about, so there is someone that dumb.
Tank Abbott would have tried it.
This is the only sport where Tyrannoball is still a thing.
Yeah. Does that mean that technically John Jones is a Tyrannosaurus?
He's a Tyrannosaurus addict. Marcaday still on the tail of Tobias TH, right behind GT4 leader Pedro Magas, as well as that was Barrier, I believe, spinning. Although Chazo is the one dropping down the order. Okay, he's in the pits. So our first pit stopper is in. It's Luciano Chazo. The window is open. Looks like Butler is also in. makes sense, as Butler had considerable damage.
How much do you consider it to be?
Well, he was missing like the entire front end of his car, so
Difficult.
A lot.
But you just have to go faster and do a wheelie the whole way. So I'm getting pretty close to the end of the storyline of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
And I still don't have access to half the fucking game. Which I did a quick look up to find out when that happens, and it's after you finish the storyline.
Oh, okay.
Why? Who fucking made this goddamn decision? I'm not happy about it.
I don't know. John Barker on the tail of Steve Davis.
You don't even get to continue the game with your character after you've done the storyline.
That's highly disappointing.
Yeah. These are suppositions and guesses. I've managed to avoid spoilers. But there are reasons for me to believe that my character dies. And then you lose everything.
Henrik Andreasen had a spin there. Just caught the tail end of it.
Tailspin? It's a good show.
Drop him to fifth place. And James Butler off again. That's not good. We saw Butler have contact with the wall earlier, make an early pit stop to fix the car up. And, well, he's found that wall again. Might have lost Sebastian Bellew at some point during this race.
Sebastian Vettel?
We would never lose Sebastian Vettel, sir.
We have a GPS tracker on him at all times.
I did love that they had during the season there's a little YouTube show called Quiz the Grid. They'll ask all the Formula One drivers, a question, and they gotta answer it the best they can. It's usually a series of questions, and they keep track of who the champion is at the end of the season. And I remember there was one where it's like you have to name all the Formula One world champions in order from most recent to back to 1950. And pretty much all the drivers were like made it back to like, I don't know, the early 90s maybe. And then it's like last man standing, Sebastian Vettel, and it's just like Vettel just calmly naming them off like this is something he does on a daily basis. Like just destroying the field. The best part is Kimi Räikkönen getting his own year of championship wrong. It's like 2008, it was me. No, Kimi, you didn't win in 2008. I didn't? You won in 2007. Oh. Fuck.
That's alright. We'll let Kimi get away with practically anything.
He still finished like top 10. Couple of people just screwed up where the Lewis Hamilton Sebastian Vettel handoff occurs in the championship rows, as Vic Vega recovers from a spin.
Quick, name every champion, Lewis Hamilton.
I mean, you're really not gonna get that close with just Lewis Hamilton. There have been what, 71 Formula One world titles handed out,
and they've all been won by Lewis Hamilton and Schumacher.
Not even a quarter. Not even a quarter.
Wow, how dare you, sir? I mean, Lewis Hamilton just won his 9th title this year.
No, he did not. Max Verstappen became the first Dutch driver.
That's not true. That guy cheated.
He shouldn't have. It was. I've said this before. I'll say it again. The rules were not followed. Side-by-side action between John Barker and Steve Davidson. Davidson hanging on in the Mercedes v BMW battle. Rene Irmer still on the tail of Andrew D. Irmer is really turning it on here towards the end of the season with that podium in Indianapolis, and now he's looking for another one.
In the words of DJ Khaled, a further single example.
Well, Rene felt a little bit out of place in the GT2 category. He's been to use the color coding of drivers, he's been kind of like a low gold, high silver type guy in the past, and is really just stepping it up right now. And it took him a while. He was kind of rough. Had the back-to-back DNFs at Zhuhai and Lausitz's Ring. Had the DNF at Hungaroring. So, you know, he's been battling the car, but it looks like he's really found something at Indianapolis, and he's bringing it out of here again. Is Luciano
That would be cocaine. That would be the thing he found.
How dare you suggest that Rene Ermer's driving capacity is directly related to his cocaine intake?
Cocaine. Nicotine, Valium, Vicodin, marijuana, ecstasy, and alcohol. Yeah.
Great song.
It is a great song. There's an urban myth that Queens of the Stone Age played that song at a rehab center. They got kicked out.
I would imagine they would, as John Barker has overtaken Steve Davidson. We didn't get to see that, but we are seeing the aftermath of the overtake. What is your favorite Queens of the Stone Age song?
Oh, man. I don't know. Probably Smooth Sailing. It's just funky.
I'm gonna go with three. I'm gonna go with 3s and 7s.
It is good. 3s and 7s. I do enjoy their cover of Christian Brothers is fantastic. Going Out West. And I look good without my shirt on. Going Out West. 666. Specifically the live version on the short-lived Henry Rollins show.
I saw Queens of Stone Age live, and as a result, Monsters in a Parasol and Burn the Witch have a special reticence for me, just because of how they performed them live. Because it was it was what they call a rogue show, where it was a free show for everyone who attended. And the band was drunk. So when it came time to play Monsters in a Parasol, Josh Homney is like, this is a song about monsters under my bed and Lars Ulrich. It's Monsters in a Parasol. And the lead up to Burn the Witch was the whole night he was abusing Troy, like just verbally between songs. And the crowd had started going, yeah, Troy! Like, to support Troy. And by the time it came time for Burn the Witch, he's like, if you ever get the chance to just smell Troy, just enjoy yourself. You can rent him out for parties, but you gotta pay me directly. And what I'm trying to say is, Troy's a whore, and this song is about him. It's called Burn the Witch. And I got autographs from the lineup at the time. Signed all of my stuff. Sadly, 666 was not out at the time. It had yet to be released. So
it's on the same album. Well, it's on the same. Oh no, so it's on the same album as 3s and 7s.
Yeah, they didn't play 3s and 7s either. That was not played live. That was I don't know, probably less than a year before that the album with 3s and 7s and 666.
Pretty sure that's Lullabies to Paralyze.
I don't think it is. Let me check their discography while we await for some pit stop action. Because I think it's Era Vulgaris.
Oh yeah.
Those songs are. Yeah. So at the time of the show, the Lullabies to Paralyze had been their most recent album at the time of the show.
There you go. Yeah, those two albums came pretty close together, and I get them confused sometimes.
Yeah,
although now that I'm looking at the
2005
playlist,
and 2007.
Make It With You has been also one of my favorites for a long time. But I started listening to it when it was released on the Desert Sessions, which, if people aren't familiar with that, basically a whole bunch of Josh Homme's industry friends and musicians get together at his recording studio. Oh, something happened there.
Ooh,
oh, something bad
happened there. Andrew D.
Oh, no,
come on, Andrew.
Yeah. Oh,
Andrew's tires. No, they're dirty. It looks like. So Arno Adrakor has been in the pits, served his pit stop, and it looks like he came out in the vicinity of Andrew D. And it looks like they had contact. Or possibly one of them lost the car and the other one hit it. I don't know. We didn't see it. But definitely that has thoroughly cramped both of their styles, particularly if Adrakor has any damage. That could limit him from being in contention for a win.
Well, I mean, probably you just drive faster now.
Other pit stoppers, Henrik Andreasen has been in, Vic Vega, and David Marcadet. All day. Also, D's problems suggests Max Simmons might be running away with this one now because he's got 8-second cushion back to Rene Ermer, and Andrew D was caught up in the carnage there, and now he's behind Ermer by a lot, 17 seconds. Off the lead. So there's not really anyone to rival Simmons right now, unless Luciano Echazo, who pitted early, has been doing some significant damage. Oh, James Butler off the track again. Number of cars are having troubles here. So we check in with Steve Davidson, who continues to try to catch up with the British invasion of John Barker and Maciej Kaschuk.
Correct.
Looks like Pedro Magalhaes is in the pits, and Steve Davidson will join him. There is your race leader, your Indianapolis winner. Max Simmons, who has been on the podium 4 times this series. Second place at Brno, along with thirds at Spa and the Hungaroring. Making a bid for the championship here with a late push.
But I believe he did win the Mud Pit 5000.
Pedro Magalhaes has come out behind Arno Adrakor, so I wonder if Magalhaes did the 4 tires and everyone else is doing 2. Because he's lost out to both Marcadet and Adrakor, who he was ahead of beforehand because he was in first place. He's come out behind them. Very interesting. That has handed the lead of GT4 over to Tobias TH, at least for the time being. As we approach the halfway point of the race, we've lost Ricardo Costa and Sebastian Bellew, so 16 cars still circulating.
It is probably very important to have good circulation.
It is, I can test that.
If you don't have good circulation, then they have to chop your earlobes off and give you prosthetics like Mike's got.
There's another spin there for Bertrand Barrier. I honestly didn't expect Magalhaes to come out behind Adrakor. We saw Adrakor have contact with Andrew D. Whether it's going to be a penalty or not depends if someone wants to report it. Not sure what happened. We only saw the after part, but he lost significant time through that. So the fact that he's come out ahead of Magalhaes is very surprising, as Martin Edmunds comes in, takes his new tires, and heads back on out.
I believe you underestimate how hardcore Adrakor
and Edmunds has come out ahead of Adrakor and ahead of Magas. He cuts off a Dracor, and Magas gets the spot. So I am left assuming that Pedro has taken 4 tires and everyone else is taking 2, because I'm at a loss to figure out how he lost so much time in the pit lane.
You accusing the man of stealing extra tires? Is that what's going on here?
No, I'm just accusing the man of having extra tires.
Just because he's Puerto Rican doesn't mean he just took extra tires, Mike. Come on.
I mean, I would never accuse a man based on being Puerto Rican of taking additional tires.
Well, that's good. Because,
but
if he was Dominican,
it would explain the extra tire he's got around his belly, though.
Correct. Now, if he's Dominican, that'd be a whole different story. That dude definitely would have just stolen tires.
Feel like we're going very far down the Nacho Laranja rabbit hole now.
Pretty much. Either that, or we're gonna have Josiah Jerome in the comment section. Just, hey, you guys, you can't do that. You can't say that. But in fact, we can say that because we are joking.
David Marcaday on the tail of John Barker. Barker is yet to pit. Marcaday has, so Marcaday's losing time being stuck behind Barker. And he's probably hoping Barker will just pit. This is one of those, why don't you just pit? Come on, go in the pits. I'll be your friend.
I will give you my last chicken nugget if you pit first.
We got 3 cars yet to pit for the record. We got Tobias TH, John Barker, as well as Max Simmons. Of course, Max Simmons is not pitting. And there is... I was going to say, Barker shouldn't really fight that too hard. That's not his fight. And Marcaday is through. Oh, pardon me, Simmons did pit. It's Rene Ermer who's still out there and actually in the lead. Interesting. So we're waiting on Ermer, Tobias, and John Barker. As the, Bertrand Barrier off the track again. That will cost him 5th place to Henrik Andreasen. And we got the 2 Lotuses of Pedro Magalhaes and Martin Edmunds scrapping it out for what is right now 4th place, and is probably actually a podium position once Barker comes in. Speaking of which, there he is, John Barker.
What if he was in a no barking zone?
Well, then he would be just John Bark.
Oh.
Tobias TH has also been in and has ended up behind this group, so interesting. There's been a lot of pit delta going on, which is a little bit confusing. I'm gonna pull up the stats page for this event real quick and avoid spoiling myself on the results, ideally, and check out the pit deltas, since we've seen all but Rene Ermer come down the pit lane. So Pedro Magalhaes' pit stop was about 49.8 seconds. Tobias TH was 53. There's a lot going on here because Martin Edmunds got his done in 34.7. So we're talking like 10 to 20 seconds of differential time here, which is interesting. On board with Andrew D, who finds himself behind Luciano Ichaza.
Come on, Andrew, just put him in the wall. It'll be fine. And we'll look the other way.
Rene Ermer in the pits, so that puts Max Simmons back out in the lead. By the way, the GT4s have all handled their pit stops. It is Marcaday leading from Edmunds, Magas, Drakor, Tobias TH, Kaschuk, Davidson, Barker, and Vega. And in the GT2 category, Max Simmons is back out in the lead. Ermer, assuming he's out of the pits, appears to be in second place. Yeah, he's not in the pit line. Chazo third, D fourth, Andreas in fifth, and Barrier sixth. James Butler is seventh, although down a lap. And given how many times we've seen Butler off track, it wouldn't surprise me if he's actually retired. An item on my Steam wish list has gone on sale. I don't know what it is, though.
I believe it would be that hentai game. Apparently there's a lot of hentai games on Steam.
Oh, probably. It is Elite Dangerously is on sale for 75% off.
Ooh. Is that the one that's... No, Star Citizen is the one.
That Star Citizen's the one that you're thinking of. Yes.
Will never be an actual video game, and they put like $300 million into it.
That Star Citizen is Vic Vega has
amazing.
Elite Dangerously is out and is a regular price of like 30 something, and it's on for $10.
I think somebody bought that for me, and I've never installed it.
I know that RC plays it, so might pick it up and join her for some Elite Dangerously at some point.
Well, maybe I'll install it and make you feel bad for not playing with me.
I mean, then I'll just play with you.
Oh yeah, I guess that's an easy option.
Probably, how long is this sale gonna last? Because I technically have already exhausted my video gaming budget for the month, so I would have to wait for March.
Oh, no, I don't have it. Weird. I thought I did. I'll have to go through my library and find out what game I thought it was. Somebody bought me a game like that, and I just haven't bothered to install it because I have so many games.
Steve Davidson getting the blue flag treatment is, oh my lord, Bertrand Barrier has been off track a number of times. Some of these GT2 guys are having a real hard time today. James Butler is retired from the race after a number of spins. We've seen Barrier and Andreasen off a number of times. So it seems like the GT2 Porsche is just not very stable here. We've seen a Chazel off too. We've seen D off. So yeah, we have seen all of them off. And the only two GT2s that we have not seen take a spin are the two Audis of Simmons and Ermer.
Well, I mean, I believe the real problem here is that they're not running diesels with Hemis.
Magas still behind Martin Edmunds. Battle for second place. Martin really worked the pit stop out pretty well to get out ahead of everybody he was battling with, basically. Except for David Marcaday. But jumped up from 5th place to 2nd place, which is very impressive. On board with Andrew D in the Golf Porsche. Battling for the last step on the podium and top Porsche bragging honors.
You know, it'd be really good is if somebody put the Cactus Cup Mario Kart music over this. Yeah, put him in the wall.
A little nudge
Pedro.
there. Pedro on Martin.
Fuck him up, Pedro. Fuck him up.
Lotus on Lotus action. Martin to the inside. Wow, Martin just kind of gave that spot up. Pedro moving on to the second place there. I wonder if those two... Oh, his magic cash check is off.
Is that the wrong side of the wall?
Maybe. I'm not entirely sure.
Like a bad... Like, you took the wrong turn into Albuquerque there, homie.
Not entirely sure, but... Well, that car is not looking great, but I mean, still on pace for a 8th or 9th place finish. There are only 9 GT4s running. Luciano Achazo breaking loose a little bit there. And Andrew D does well to not go into the back of him. Not trying to overplay his hand, but he would love to get that podium. It's Henrik Andreasen recovering from a spin. Andrew D has been on the podium twice this season, including most recently at Indianapolis, also taking a podium at Zhuhai. Luciano Achazo, of course, is a 2-time winner in the series, having won at Hungaroring and Zhuhai. Also was a runner-up at Spa-Francorchamps with additional podiums at Lausitz and Brno. Indianapolis was his first race not to get a podium, actually, where he finished in 5th place, but did pick up a Tier 2 penalty, and the penalties are quite big in this series.
At least 2 feet wide.
It was an unsafe rejoin penalty as he had spun at Indianapolis and contacted your GT4 leader, David Marcaday. Max Simmons looking pretty comfortable up front, almost 16 seconds ahead of Irmer, who is in turn over 15 and a half seconds ahead of this battle. So, the Audi's looking very solid at the moment.
Max Simmons currently 26 laps ahead.
It is these two and Andreasen and Barrier. Rounding off the GT2 category as we look at Tobias TH putting the pressure on Martin Edmunds. He's gotten past Arnaud Dracor, and Edmunds is next up on the menu.
.004. He was the one before Bond, right?
He's one of them. Wasn't that Alec Trevelyan's 00 code? AKA the one played by Sean B.
I thought it was 006.
Let's have a look.
The internet will know. I thought it was like 006 or 008. Like he was
He's 006.
There you go. It's like one to the other on either side of Bond.
.008's name is given as Bill, no last name.
Just Bill. That's how undercover Bill is. No last name. way better than James Bond. James Bond.
According to James Bond, 008 is a good man, more careful than Bond, and he believes that Bill will likely kill Goldfinger to avenge Bond if Bond is killed by Goldfinger.
That makes sense to me.
There you go.
Bill. James Bill.
Those are the only 00 agents from the actual novels. There's James Bond and Bill.
Very nice. Good old Billiam.
Mm-hmm. From the film franchise, 002 is Bill Fairbanks. Also, there is a John listed, so presumably Fairbanks either retired or was killed.
I believe he was killed.
Trevelyan is 006, and nobody else has been named. Thank you for joining us on this walk through James Bond lore.
Indeed. Next, we'll be talking about Warhammer 40k. And whether or not toasters should be banned on Mars.
Arnoa Dracor chasing Martin Edmunds, trying to get that podium spot.
No hardcore. Gonna put you in the wall. Here comes. Oh, maybe not.
I hope not. That's our ESR admin, Martin Edmunds, ahead of him.
Well, don't do that. You might get an unfortunate nickname slapped on you. Because he has the power to do that.
He does. He does have that power. Usually reserved for Max Simmons and Matt Higgs.
Sometimes. Word on the street is,
I should find the, there was a video of, so Carl Urban's apparently a big fan of The Expanse.
Good.
The novels and the TV show. And he met Wes Chatham, who is Amos in The Expanse, at a, I don't know if it was a Comic-Con or whatever, but one of the cons. And he's like, we should really get you on the show at some point. And Wes Chatham completely deadpans. I'm free now. Why not now? I also do like that apparently the Comic-Cons, Wes Chatham will sign the Amos Burton, he is that guy 2020 merchandise.
Oh, Wes Chatham. Could a person be put in a more perfect role?
I've only seen him in that and the Hunger Games, so I don't know. I don't really know the breadth of his acting.
Well, I don't know. What is
but
this?
he is amazing.
Hunger Games you speak of? Does it involve hippos?
It does not.
Then it's not valid.
It's invalid. I mean, there is a gigantic beast in the second Hunger Games movie that kills someone. It might be a hippo. They never show it, so you can't tell me that it's not a hippo.
John Wesley Chatham, born 1978, once killed a man with a toothpick. No, apparently was in the Navy.
Indeed, I was aware of that. Yeah.
Petty officer, 3rd class. Served on the USS Essex, which is an aircraft carrier.
It is indeed. Dracor definitely seems like he's the faster of the two here, but Sonoma is not known for having a lot of overtaking opportunities, so we will see if he can get the job done against Martin Edmunds here. Again, the GT2 running seems fairly set at this point. Simmons, Ermer, Chazo, D, Andreasen, Barrier. Marcaday is quite a ways ahead of Pedro Magalhaes in the GT4 race. So it's really just this battle for 3rd and the battle for 6th place between John Barker and Steve Davidson that has any aplomb at the moment.
You tell him, Steve Dave. Michael, as we
Edmunds
come
and
into
a
the final
Dracor
few
actually
seconds of this race, are you shocked that Mike Simmons is still in the pit lane?
Well, there's like 6 minutes left. In the meantime, looks like a Dracor and Edmunds are actually catching up to Pedro Magalhaes a little bit, so maybe 2nd place is not entirely safe.
Correct.
As Luciano Ichazo's coming up behind them to put the blue flag treatment to them. Check in with Steve Davidson as he tries to run down John Barker. It's been an up and down campaign for Steve Davidson. Standout run in Indianapolis, picking up an 8th place finish. Also in 9th place, but a penalty-ridden one at Bruno. And, of course, his crowning achievement, which was 4th place at Zhuhai. So, the Chinese track proving to be a happy hunting ground for Mr. Steve Dave.
How high?
Zhuhai.
It's pretty high.
Edmunds hanging on to a podium position at the moment. It's a pretty good run for him. Picked up a podium at Indianapolis, so this would make 2 in a row. And in addition to a 4th place finish he had at Bruno and a 5th place at Hungaroring, so this would be his 4th top 10 or top 5 of the season. would be the first win of the season for David Marcaday. He's been runner-up 3 times, finishing second at Spa, Lausitz's Ring, and Bruno. So it will be probably a weight off his back to finally get the actual victory here.
Well, I mean, all he has to do is just put everybody in the wall. He'd already have won.
Well, he's in front. He doesn't have to put anyone in the wall.
Well, I mean, he could win more. He could win harder just by putting people in the wall. If you put all the people in the wall, then you get points for second, third, and fourth place, right?
It's not how it works.
The less people involved, they have to just divvy up all those points and give them to people.
I feel like Byron needs to do a put him in the wall bit, but in the cadence and style of rides at 10 speed everywhere guy.
I don't know what that is, but I'll give it a shot.
It's a Family Guy character that has a bit where he's being interviewed by the news reporter, and he finishes everything with like it's a great way to stay in shape, like because he rides his 10 speed everywhere. And at the end, it's like you seem to have a really high. You seem to be really high on life at this point, and really not bothered by anything at all. Well, I'm just trying to live life the best I can before the cancer that is eating me alive finishes the job off. What kind of cancer? It is bowel cancer. It is both extremely painful and incurable, and it's a great way to stay in shape.
Sounds good.
Bertrand Barrier on the tail of Henrik Andreasen. These two weren't that close together when I was looking at the gaps beforehand, but that is obviously changed. 2 guys with immense speed, but have had some battles keeping the car pointed the right direction today. It's one of Trisha Takanawa's best bits, actually. The best one being her committing seppuku as they're like, we now go to Asian correspondent Trisha Takanawa. Tom, I'm here. I'm here with a sword through my gut, trying to commit ritual suicide after the joke that you pulled on me. If I survive this, I will have my revenge, Round Eye. Can Barrier get the job done? I think he's only going to have 1 more lap to do it. Depends where Max Simmons is. Never mind, he gets it done very easily there. Andreasen very slow off of the final corner. And drops back. So that's 5th place for Barrier. He's a guy who's had a rough season. 2 second places, obviously, being the highlight, but also 2 DNFs. And this would be just his second top 5 outside of those second place finishes. It's been incredibly quick, though. Front row almost guaranteed every time out, and we do have the checkered flag. So this is the final lap. Andreasen trying to get back at a Dracor. Edmunds is still in the middle of a Maglash and a Dracor sandwich. I'd say John Barker has seen off the challenge of Steve Davidson. Only a couple of corners left for Henrik Andreasen, and he is kind of now been gapped a little bit. As there is the final corner, Luciano Ichazo versus Andrew D for the last step on the podium. It will be Ichazo to take it, though, ahead of the Gulf Oil liveried.
No, Gulf Oil wins all the time. You can't do that.
It will be a Dracor who takes 5th place ahead of Henrik Andreasen, just 6 GT2s. Making it to the end of today's race. Tobias TH is also finished. As Barrier does a big spin to celebrate. Oh, Lord! Henrik Andreasen. Rebounding off of the fencing.
He may be dead.
He may be. I like how we go to Pedro Magalhaes. He's going very, very slowly, as is to say, someone just died. There are your final results. Fastest lap to Barrier, Simmons, Ermer, Ichazo, D, Barrier, and Andreasen. And it is in GT4, Marcaday, Magalhaes, Edmunds, Dracor, Tobias TH, John Barker, Steve Davidson, Magic Kashuk, and Vic Vega. Who had the fastest lap?
It was me.
Looks like Tobias TH with a 45.219. Nope. Pedro Magalhaes had a 45 flat. He was the fastest GT4. So let's get a quick standings update here. In the GT2 category, the championship lead is now belonging to Max Simmons, who has a 3-point lead over Luciano Ichazo with 2 rounds to go. Henrik Andreasen is in third on 98 points, followed by Bertrand Barrier on 80 and 76 for Andrew D. And in the GT4 category, Pedro Magalhaes leads by 11 points from Arnaud Dracor, followed by today's race winner, David Marcaday on 105, Tobias CH on 80, and Martin Edmunds on 70. Byron, do you have any final thoughts?
Everybody should go watch 3, 4, 5, or 6 more of these races, and then go watch the YouTube channel Crime Pays But Botany Doesn't, because that guy's fucking hilarious, and you'll learn a lot about plants.